Spring is officially here and it's time to give our plants some extra love. In today's video, I'm getting my urban jungle ready for the new and exciting season. I'm gonna do some repotting, I'm gonna take some cuttings, and I'm thinking of adding a trellis to my begonia. As always, I have some great tips on how to transition your plants into spring. So grab your favorite plant and let's get into it. Hi everyone, welcome back to my green leafy space. If you're new here, my name is Alina and I'm a plant lover. Thank you so much for being here. So the spring is officially here and I'm so excited about it. This is definitely my favorite season. I just love when the sun is coming back inside of our home. As we have most of east facing windows, it's such a big difference between winter and like spring or summertime. At spring and summer, our home lights up with some sunshine, and I have a lot of these beautiful sun reflectors, as you can see, that just make everything look so magical and beautiful. And of course, my plants are gonna love this season as well as I am. So I have a few plants that I need to repot that I haven't repotted them since I brought them home, and they live in their nursery pots, and I feel like they have been drying so fast, so I do need to give them some more soil and more space to grow. I want to take a few cuttings because, well, cuttings is so exciting. This is definitely one of my favorite things to do with my plants. Take some cuttings and make another beautiful plant. And I am going to add a trellis to my beautiful Begonia Maculata that has been kind of looking pretty sad. I think that giving it some support and a new beautiful look is going to be amazing for her. So before I make all the mess of repotting, I think I'm going to start from the begonia, move on to the cuttings, and then I'm going to do some repotting. So this is my beautiful Begonia Maculata. She lives in our living room next to an east-facing window, and I'm still kind of not sure how to care for it because I've never had one. So if you have any great tips, please let me know. I really believe that there are some plants that are going to be much happier climbing, that will love some support in like trellis or a moss pole. So that's what we're doing here today. I have this beautiful trellis that I've already added to some of my plants. A few days ago I have added one to my philodendron micans, and I think it looks so beautiful. I have one that I have showed you before on my Syngonium mojito over here. Let me show you that I also really enjoyed the look, and I think it really gave this Syngonium the support it needed because it started growing much faster, and I really believe it enjoys it so much. So that's what we're adding to my begonia. I am gonna take off everything that she has right now, and I'm kind of I'm trying to like water it when the soil is almost dry, and I try to give it as much natural light, indirect light that there is. I am giving it some extra love with my grow light that I have in that corner. I give it for a few hours a day, like 2 or 3 hours. So I'm still kind of not sure if she is happy or not. I do see some new growth coming. I guess we'll see in the next few months. So I think I'm gonna, okay, first of all, I'm gonna take all these out. I really love the look of this plant. I feel like it's like so photogenic for my Instagram. The beautiful dots on it, I really love it. I don't know why I've never had a begonia, but I'm really enjoying this one. I think I'm gonna add it this way. Maybe I'll put it, yeah, I think on the other side of the pot, over here. Let's try this way. I really love how adding a moss pollet or a trellis give like a new look to the plant. So I really love doing this. So as I said, spring is definitely my favorite season. I really love the transition from like the colder days of winter to the warmer days of spring. I really love that it's like can be really warm at daytime, but then it gets kind of chilly at the evening, and I love hanging on the balcony. Okay, I think it looks much better. Has some support now. I'm gonna water it and see if the leaves look happier. Okay, I really love the new look. I'm gonna put it in her spot in our living room, and I'm gonna continue to taking some fun cuttings. Okay, moving on to taking some cuttings. This is a Trellis that I have been growing on our kitchen windowsill, where it gets some morning sunlight and right in direct light for the whole day. I think I've planted a few small cuttings last summer, if I'm not mistaken, and this is how much it has grew since. So if you're looking for an easy plant to grow in bright in direct light or in some like gentle morning or evening sunlight, this one is perfect. You can take as much cuttings as you want. You can root them in soil or in water, and the roots are gonna come in no time. It's such an easy plant to grow and also propagate, and I have been really enjoying it. And I have another one over here that has been growing in kind of like medium to bright in direct light. It has some bright in direct light in the morning, but throughout the day I believe it's kind of like medium to bright light, and it hasn't lost its beautiful purple variegation, and I really love this plant. So I since this one doesn't have so much room on the windowsill, I thought I'll take a few cuttings and I'll add them to this plant to make it look fuller. Okay, this one I have already broke, so I'm gonna definitely take this one. You can don't really have to like even cut them, you can just break them. And from my experience, it doesn't even matter like which part of this plant you put in soil or in water. It's just gonna root anyway. So I'm just gonna cut a few lower leaves, but I am just gonna put the stem inside the soil. I do really love taking cuttings and giving it as a present, because it's such an easy plant. If we're gonna give a present to somebody who doesn't have a lot of experience, I believe they're gonna really enjoy this plant. So this is what I have left. Maybe I'll take a cutting from this one. Yeah, I think so. Okay. Yeah, this is what I have left, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna fill out in no time. Okay, so this is the one that we have in our bedroom, and I think I'm just gonna add all these vines to the soil, and I think it's gonna look even more beautiful when it's gonna be full. I have been growing this one in this space for I believe like a year or so, and it has grown long beautiful vines. I really love it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna take the lower leaf off. Where is my stick? Here it is. And I'm just gonna put it in soil. I'm gonna water it, and trust me, it's just gonna grow new roots in no time. I've had it for I believe like 5 or 6 years, which also tells you like how easy it is to care for it if I have had it for so long. And I got it when I was just starting out, so it's definitely one of the easiest plants to care for. Okay, this is it. Looks much fuller and I really love it. I'm gonna give it some time to grow these beautiful long vines also. Okay, moving on to the next cutting I want to take. I have this beautiful pothos, golden pothos behind me over here, with these really long vines, and it has one that goes all the way to the wall. And I've been thinking of taking a cutting, and I did ask like my followers on Instagram if I should take some cuttings. They were like, no, leave it alone. But I am gonna take a few cuttings. I'm not gonna take a lot. I think maybe something like this, and I am gonna part them to a smaller cuttings. I really love propagating it. I really enjoy having these beautiful plants in like basically every space I have. So I am gonna take some cuttings. I'm gonna find a nice vessel for it. Yeah, let's do it. I don't think I'm gonna take a really long cutting. Maybe I'm gonna cut it over here. I'm gonna cut this lower one. This is another one. So this is what I have left. So I'm gonna use this beautiful vessel that I've got. I've got 3 of them. You can get them as a trio. I really love this part that it can hold the cutting inside. It's not gonna fall off. And I really love this bamboo base. So that's what I'm gonna use. I always feel so bad that I need to cut the lower leaves, but if you're not gonna cut them, they're probably gonna rot in water, so that's not the best idea. So this is the end result. I really love it, and I can't wait to see it grow some new beautiful roots and new leaves. I do want to take a cutting from another plant, and that's my Sansevieria moonshine that is growing over here. I kind of feel like I want another one of this beautiful plant. So I need to find a vessel. I'm gonna look for a vessel. I'm gonna come back and take the cutting. Okay, so I think I'm gonna use this cute jar, which I believe the opening is big enough for the Sansevieria leaves. I think I'm gonna take 1 leaf only because I don't want it to look sad after I take the cutting. I think I'm gonna take maybe this newer one. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think so. Okay, so Sansevierias are also pretty easy to propagate in water. Okay, that's it. I know that there are some people that are doing this like V-shaped cut for Sansevieria, but I think I'm gonna leave it this way. I'm just gonna add some water. Love it, so cute. I was thinking of adding another shelfie to our home. You know, I got a lot of like questions about the shelfies that I've got with the bar. So these are the shelves that I've designed especially for plants. After I got some questions about the shelfies, I did say that I'm gonna make a DIY for you guys, but I kind of didn't know where I want another shelfie, because I did want to like show you how I make them. I wanted to find like a spot for it and design it. I wanted to do like the whole thing. And now I'm thinking of adding another shelfie to our bedroom, but I'm kind of not sure where I want that shelfie to be. I thought it would be really beautiful to make like this shelfie, but with like only cuttings. So I was thinking of 2 options. The one is on the wall in front of me, where it gets some bright indirect light from this window, or to add another shelfie over here, like above this one, the same size as this one above, where it's gonna get some bright indirect light from this window and from that window. Let me know what you think. What would you do? But it's definitely gonna be like a cutting shelfie. That's why I decided to take today some more cuttings that I can fill my shelfie with. Okay, so this is the end result. I'm gonna find it a temporary space until I make the shelfie, and we'll see how it goes. I'm expecting to see some new roots in no time. Okay, moving on to some fun repottings. I'm gonna repot my beautiful Rafi that has been growing in its nursery pot, and I wanna repot my beautiful philodendron ring of fire, and we'll see. I might repot another plant. I'm not sure about it. We'll see. Okay, so I'm planning on repotting this cute Rafi that has been drying really fast, and it's kind of not really like sturdy in this pot because it's in its nursery pot. So I'm gonna replant it, and I'm gonna replant it to a terracotta, and I know what you're gonna say. If you're an underwaterer, don't put your plants into terracotta. But first of all, I really love the look of terracotta. I really believe that it will look so beautiful in every like home aesthetic, and it's really eco-friendly, which is so important to me. I don't really buy any plastic pots anymore. I do have a few that I've got when I was just starting out, but my favorite is definitely terracotta. I kind of feel like it looks so beautiful in every space, and it's also the material of terracotta lets some air get to the roots, which is so important for plants and to prevent root rot. So that's what I'm gonna do. I am gonna water it on time, I promise. So let's see how the roots look. Okay, looks really beautiful and healthy. So let's see. Okay, I think I just need to add like some soil on the sides, and that's it. I usually use some soil with perlite, but this time when I got perlite, when I thought I got perlite, I ended up getting some vermiculite, which I guess it's kind of the same, except from it does have some minerals, some nutrients in it, which is also pretty nice. I don't think it's like a big resource of nutrients for the plants, but that's the main like difference between it and the perlite. So now I have some soil, some perlite, and some vermiculite in my soil mix. So I got a really beautiful Hoya that I want to repot because I want it's in kind of a big nursery pot, but I want to repot it to a smaller one because I want to hang it in our living room, and it's not going to work with the macrame I have there in that big plastic pot. So I also want to replant it. I think I am gonna make like a part 2 spring preparation because I do have a lot of work ahead of me this spring. Like all the plants on the balcony, I haven't repotted them, most of them, for years. Okay, I think I'm pretty much done with repotting my beautiful Rafi. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be so much happier. I kind of feel like the moss pole is also more sturdier right now. So yeah, that's it. I love showing this plant. I have been enjoying it so much, and you know what, it's so easy to care for, and it grows kind of a fast grower if you give it the right condition. I give it bright indirect light, and I water it when the soil is totally dry, and I fertilize it once. I believe I'm gonna start fertilizing it more now that it's spring, and I can't wait to, you know, like to see it grow into a full beautiful plant with long vines that I can style my home with. So this one is definitely one of my favorites. Okay, moving on to repotting one of my favorite philodendrons. This is a ring of fire, and as I told you before, I did have some troubles getting along with philodendrons in general, and this is the one that I had like no problems with. It lives over here in bright indirect light, and it gets some morning sunlight, which I think makes him really happy. So since I've got it, it had like 3 or 4 new beautiful leaves. It has this like pinkish beautiful variegation, and there is new leaf coming here that looks totally pink, but we'll see. So this one I'm also gonna repot to a terracotta. You know what, I don't really enjoy the look of a nursery pot in a terracotta, especially if they're standing like where I can see it. If they are like on a high shelfie, I don't really mind. But I feel like this one also has been drying really fast, and I think it's a great time to repot it. Okay, yeah, I think it will need some extra space for its roots. So let's do it. This is a plant that's definitely gonna take a lot of space, as you can see, but I've been enjoying it so much. Like every new leaf is so exciting and so beautiful. I do think that I found like the perfect spot for it over here next to an east-facing window, and I try to water it when the soil is totally dry. And with this one I've had like no problems at all. I've tried to grow a few times like a hardleaf philodendron, and I just kind of wasn't like getting along with it. I'm not sure why, it just wasn't growing. I believe it's like the hardleaf philodendron is such like a slow grower. So if you want to get something like with long vines that you're gonna, you know, enjoy and see new leaves constantly, then definitely get the photos. You're gonna enjoy it much more. But I do have both of them. I also have the philodendron micans, which is so beautiful that I kind of feel like I'm finally doing something good with it. It has been growing really well, which makes me so happy. And the leaves of the micans are so magical. They have this like shine to them that is so beautiful. So a few tips on how to care for your plants in springtime. So I think the most important thing is kind of like to realize that the watering routine that you've had till now in the winter time is probably gonna change. Most of your plants will definitely need some frequent waterings than before. And that's not only because of the temperatures, it's also because they probably are gonna get some more light than in winter, and they are gonna use the water you're gonna give them much faster. The other thing is just to make sure that, you know, if the light situation in your home changes, like in mine, that, you know, in wintertime we barely get any direct sunlight in our living room, but now there is going to be some direct sunlight. So I'm just going to make sure that all plants that are living there can handle the sun. Since it's a morning gentle light, I'm not really worried. But if you do have some plants like standing in a space when they're not getting any direct sunlight, and they are gonna start getting some direct sunlight, so just make sure that you don't need to do any like changes with moving your plants. And I believe the most important thing is fertilizing in springtime. Start fertilizing all your plants. They're definitely gonna start growing. If you have some plants that haven't been growing in winter time, I'm pretty sure they will start now. Just make sure to give them enough fertilizer to keep them happy, and thriving. We do want to see some new growth. Most of my plants, I believe, have been growing in winter time also, so I have been fertilizing them all year round. But if I like had fertilize the plant every like once a month, I believe I'm gonna start fertilizing it once like in 2 weeks, and I'll see how it goes. So I believe those are like the main tips I have for you. So that's it. Looks much nicer and is not tipping over anymore. I'm gonna water it later. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so this is the Hoya I got a few days ago. I think it's a Hoya exotica. I'm not sure. If you know the variety of this Hoya, definitely let me know. So I need to move it to a smaller pot. Since I'm gonna hang it in a macrame hanger, I am gonna plant it into a plastic pot because I don't want like a lot of weight on the hanging pots. Let's see how we're gonna do it because it's smaller than the nursery pot. I'm gonna try and move it there. Okay, the soil here is so moist, it's gonna be challenging. Okay, so I have a few Hoyas that I really enjoy growing. I've had one with okay, it's out. So as I said, I have a few Hoyas that I really love growing. I think they are pretty easy to care for. Most of them live in bright indirect light. Some of them do get some morning light, which they really enjoy. So if you're even like a just beginner plant parent, I think it's pretty great plant for you to start with. Just don't overwater it and give it bright indirect light or some gentle sun, and it's gonna be so happy. Some of the varieties grow faster than others, of course, but I really have been enjoying growing Hoyas. Okay, this is one part. By the way, I don't really like repotting plants when I just bring them home, but this one I really want to hang on in a macrame hanger. That's why I'm moving it and repotting it, but that's not something that I usually do. I do give it like some time to acclimate to its new space, but I believe it's gonna be just fine. So I've started this YouTube channel, I believe like 3 or 4 months ago, and I've never really had a chance to like properly introduce myself. So I was thinking of making a video of like maybe some plant care, and just kind of wanted to talk more about myself and tell you about me. So I'd really love to know if that's something that you would be interested in. Just to hear a little bit more like about me and like my life and my family. So if you're interested, definitely let me know in the comments. Kind of feel like I wanna make this video and just tell you a little bit more like about my life story and who I am, except from being a plant parent. Okay, another small one. I really also enjoy taking cuttings from Hoyas. They are usually take a lot of time to root. I have a few cuttings in water from different Hoyas, and usually takes about a month for them to root. So if you have one in water, then definitely give it some time and be patient. I believe that spring is such a beautiful time to take some new cuttings from your plants. When everything is just coming back to life, some plants start to bloom, and the sun, we see the sun much more, it's such a beautiful time to add more plants to your home without, buying any. But you know what I do? Take cuttings all year round, and I've had no problems with that. I do live in an area where it doesn't get like really cold at winter time, and the summer here is so long. It's much more than 3 months. So I've never had any problems with taking cuttings all year round, but spring is definitely like the season for some cuttings. So after you finish watching this video, like go check out what plants you can propagate and just do it. I think you're gonna really enjoy it. So this repotting was kind of challenging, but I think we're okay. I'm gonna go hang it in its space later, and I think it's gonna look really beautiful. In this time of the year, it's gonna get some bright indirect light, but later with more sun inside, it's gonna also get some direct morning sunlight. Really love it. So I think I finished with everything that I planned for today. I'm so thankful for this beautiful morning that I've had some time to hang with you and with my plants. I really hope you have enjoyed this video and some of the tips I gave you. If you're gonna do some spring preparations with your houseplants, definitely let me know in the comments. I'd really love to have some more plenty conversations with you. Thank you so much for your kind comments. Sometimes it really makes my day, to read a beautiful positive comment from you guys. So I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you in my next video.